The two major agreements were signed by the SAARC foreign ministers in the presence of the 7 heads of government and state from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan and Maldives. The foreign ministers also signed another important agreement to set up a South Asian Food Security Reserve. This provides for building up 2 lakh tons of food reserve to meet the emergency needs of the 7 nations. Doordarshan correspondent M.L. Dhar reports that the SAARC Council of Ministers had recommended only the final act of suppression of terrorism. The South Asian leaders, however, went a step further and decided on signing the Regional Convention on Terrorism itself. The 7 SAARC leaders expressed their complete satisfaction over the signing of these 2 important documents. They described them as a landmark in their collective efforts to eliminate terrorism and hunger from the region. The Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, in his concluding address said the Regional Convention on Terrorism is a path-breaking process.
It is indeed ironic, as His Majesty the King of Bhutan reminded us, that we were till recently more isolated from each other than from the rest of the world. Happily, that is now changing. Lack of knowledge is giving way to valuable shared experience. Unfamiliarity is yielding to a lively appreciation of each other's concerns. Elements of suspicion and mistrust are slowly being blown away. We should neither force the pace nor let the momentum slacken. In the 2 years since Dhaka, our association has come a considerable way. Regional cooperation is getting ingrained in our habit of thought. The nature of such cooperation is moving from contacts and studies to action which touches our societies and the lives of our people. The action we have taken in areas like the struggle against terrorism is of path-breaking significance. The work we are embarking upon in regard to the environment could give a lead to the entire international community. And now, as we move into the crucial economic sectors, South Asian cooperation arrives at the threshold of becoming a major force in our region and therefore in the world. The association has taken wing. We shall glide through narrow gorges with practiced ease. We shall soar with confidence above the peaks, and we shall alight upon a distant perch which today falls beyond the horizon. Thank you.
The Kathmandu Declaration adopted by the summit provides a new direction to the future course of regional cooperation in South Asia. The declaration calls for an early convening of a comprehensive test ban treaty. It also demands an early convention to ban chemical weapons. The SAARC leaders have expressed their concern over the reverse flow of resources from the developing to the developed countries. They stress the importance of resuming North-South dialogue. The document recommends commissioning of a study on environment. The summit has accepted the recommendation of the Council of Ministers on the question of admitting new members as guests and observers. In Kathmandu, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi held talks with the Pakistan Prime Minister Mohammad Khan Junejo before the closing session of the summit. The two leaders discussed bilateral and regional matters. Mr. Gandhi was back in the capital this afternoon. The Prime Minister was received by his cabinet colleagues and other leaders. He spoke to newsmen at the airport. Mr. Gandhi answered a wide range of questions, including the Indo-Sri Lankan Agreement and the Siachen Glacier.
The meeting went off very well. In a sense, some of the things that we had started in Bangalore, we were able to bring to a conclusion. We've started some new areas which were of interest to us. The arrangements were very good. Must congratulate Nepal for that. And well, we feel everything went very well. The areas where we feel that we've made headway, a major breakthrough on terrorism, on the food reserve, it's another breakthrough. Then we're going to have studies on the environment to see, to relate it to the problems of floods and droughts and climatic change. There are three very positive developments. We didn't really come up in that way. Afghanistan applied. We support Afghanistan, we've got no problem with that. But unfortunately in our charter, there is no room for admission of any countries. There is no clause which allows more countries to join. So we've asked a committee to go into norms for people to become members, norms for associate members, observer status, guest status, and norms for relationships with other organizations.
About your talks with President Jayawardene.
He's coming here tomorrow.
No, but you had a round of talks already in Kathmandu, so nothing more has come.
There was some controversy about whether some of the devolving of powers was in accordance with what we had agreed to. That is still being looked at by our officials and the Sri Lankan officials. They'll look at it in Delhi tomorrow, and only then we'll be able to say some more. But in my talks with President Jayawardene, he was very positive that he stands by everything that he has said, and there's no shift in his position.
What was the action issue, and what was the outcome?
He raised it. I told him that the ball was really on their court because they attacked our post, and if they attack our post, we will defend our post, and if it causes them problems, well, they should learn not to attack our posts.
MGR also doesn't seem to be having any direct contact with the LTT or indirect contact. How operationally it will work out? I mean, time scale and all that.
I believe there is no problem with the LTT contacting IPKF if they want to give IPKF a message. They've got plenty of ways of doing that. Directly, in Sri Lanka. Okay? Thank you.
Mr. Conbal later had a meeting with the Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. The World Bank chief appreciated the country's developmental programs.
The devolution of power was also discussed. It was decided